talk about some of your other dates coming up, but how about another song?
All right, this is a very sentimental one off my first album, and it's honestly probably my most requested song, and I figured it'd be a good one for all the folks out there on the radio today. It's called Daddy's Pocket Knife. One day I opened up an old and dusty drawer. A little rusty piece of steel fell out on the floor. As I went to pick it up, those memories came back strong. It was Daddy's pocket knife he'd carried for so long. As I held that rusty piece of steel there in my hand, my thoughts wandered back to that hard-working man. Just an old piece of steel and worn-out cattle bone. It was Daddy's pocket knife, and now it's finally made it home. He probably bought it years ago at the Angle Hardware store. He'd come home from work every day, his fingers cracked and sore. Come here, my son, won't you sit up on my knee? And I'll tell you a little tale about the way things used to be. As I held that rusty piece of steel there in my hand, my thoughts wandered back to that hard-working man. Just an old piece of steel and worn-out cattle bone. It was Daddy's pocket knife, and now it's finally made it home. From my eye on that dreadful day, I held that blade in my hands, no words were left to say. When his time on earth was near, he placed it in that drawer, knowing one day his son would find it and carry it once more. As I held that rusty piece of steel there in my hand, my thoughts wander back to that hard-working man. Just an old piece of steel and worn-out cattle bone. It was Daddy's pocket knife, now it's finally made it home.
WNCW Live in Studio B. It's Colby T. Helms. That tune was when we got the album of Drew. I was drawn right to that song. I said that's got to be a great song, and it is. It's tough. It's tough to lose your father at any age, but when you're middle school age and stuff, that is a tough time anyway. And then on top of that, so he was an engineer. He seems like a Renaissance man. He was an engineer. He could fix stuff. He fixed all kind of things, built things, and whatever. And did you get to be the helper a lot of times?
Oh yeah, I was his helper all the time.
Hold this.
Oh yeah, I was the gopher, as they call it.
Yeah.
Go for this, go for that.
Get me those pliers.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a super tough thing to let go of. But was he musical as well?
He sang a lot, and he taught me a lot of the old timey tunes. He played the juice harp as well, and he used to host an old time band called the Unstrung String Band. They were good buddies back in the day, and used to go to the fiddlers conventions, and they'd all come over to the house, and he'd fix some dinner, and they'd all have a big time and jam and stuff. But he was always humming old tunes, and and whistling a lot, but he didn't really play much. But he definitely inspired me as far as the storytelling. He was a big storyteller, and I try to carry that on through my songs.
Definitely a Renaissance man. Yeah, I know he's proud of you looking down, man. Because
Thank you so much.
doing great. And this album, if when you put out a first album, you want it to be like this. You want it to be and right from the heart and good. So, and I know it's doing well for you, and I know the crowds are responding. I wanted to mention again tonight at the Gray Eagle in Asheville, and then some more dates coming up. You're going to be in Greenville next month.
Oh, yeah.
March 7th. And then after that, you're going to be visiting Bristol.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know which side, if it's Virginia or Tennessee, but it doesn't really matter. It's Bristol. Then back down to Charleston on the 13th of March, and back down this way to Aiken, South Carolina in April.
Yeah.
And I saw this one, and it caught my eye because it was a place I used to haunt. May 8th at the Grandin Theater in Roanoke.
Oh, yeah, we'll be back home for a hometown show by then. So if you can't catch us in the Carolinas, please come up and see us in Virginia. We're going to have a good time out there at the Grandin.
Grandin Theater is a historic site, and I didn't know they were having live music and things there now.
Yeah, they're starting to really open back up with that, and it really warms my heart to see some really good acts coming through there. So come check us out.
Grandin's a cool little vibe. It's like a town inside the city of Roanoke.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little mini kind of town. It kind of has a lot of the older themed shops. They have like a little ice cream shop, little soda shop that's kind of like a 50s kind of soda shop, and they got the old Grandin Theater and lots of good little places to eat and shops and stuff. I love it. It's a quaint little village for sure.
Glad to hear that. It's been like 30 years or so since I lived over that way, and but Grandin was a cool community to live in even back then. I remember going and seeing dollar movies at the Grandin Theater way back in the day. Anyway, I wanted to mention some of your upcoming dates because you never know where folks are listening from.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And
exactly.
They can mark you on the calendar. Any work yet on maybe a follow-up album? I know this one is still stewing for you and still boiling out there.
Actually, before I just went to England and did a tour, but before then I went to Nashville and recorded a second album.
Oh.
And I have lots to say about that. We might have to save for another time, but that it's not quite finished yet. But we're hoping it'll be out maybe in the fall. And this album's gonna kind of be a follow-up to our first one. It'll have a lot more of my stories, but it'll be a little bit less focused on me and a lot more focused on different characters and people that have influenced me throughout my life. And it'll be chock full of good tales, though, and I'm really excited to share some of those with everybody.
Can you tell anything about who you're working with in Nashville and stuff?
Yeah, I'm going to be lucky enough to have this album produced by Mr. David Ferguson, who's a really awesome producer, and he's been around it for many, many years, and he's worked with Johnny Cash and a lot of other legends, and getting to be around him and bounce my ideas off of his really created some amazing sounds. So I'm excited to share those with everybody. It'll be a little bit different than my first album. It'll have, some country instrumentation on some of the songs, but I made sure that half the songs are bluegrass. So it'll be a half country, half bluegrass kind of album, and it's going to have some great musicians on there, and I'm just really stoked to see how the audiences perceive it. I think they're really going to enjoy it.
Smile on your face says it all. So we'll look forward to getting that. Now, are you playing solo like you are here today up there at Gray Eagle tonight, or did you bring
Yeah, I'm doing some solo shows right now, but I'll be back with my band soon enough.
The Virginia Creepers?
Yeah, the Virginia Creepers. I'm very fortunate to have them as a band. Most of them are from Franklin County, Virginia, except my mandolin player, Chandler. He's from White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. He's an amazing mandolinist. If you're into progressive bluegrass, he has a lot of instrumental progressive stuff out there under Chandler Beavers. Check it out. But if you've never heard of him, you'll have to check him out. And then my fiddle player, Mr. Billy Hurd, he's an amazing fiddler from Franklin County, old-time fiddler that has joined up with me, and he's one of my heroes and mentors since I was a kid, and so he's playing with me now, and he produced the first album, so it's great to have him on the road with us. And then Stuart Warner plays banjo with me, and I grew up with him and We played the talent show together in high school, and we're still playing together today. So
how'd y'all do in the talent show?
we won it.
Of course you did. Well, all right.